Heron, Illinois.
Okay. What years did you coach here?
Here I started the 56-57 season, and I retired in '85.
Okay. Tell us about some of the more memorable teams that you coached.
Oh, gosh. You know, probably the team that I remember the most, I was probably in '60-61. They were called the Mighty Midgets. It's a little team, 5'4", 5'7", two guys 5'8", and one 6 foot.
Wow.
And we won about 21 games, got beaten overtime in the sectional finals. So that was a very outstanding team, and I guess the reason I remember that team is because I was playing 4 black kids, and that was kind of unheard of. And I got a lot of flack from the fans, and they'd call my house, and if I answered, it'd be nigger lover. And if my wife answered, how you like to be married to a nigger lover? And I went to see the athletic director, and I told him I was leaving. I was going back to Heron. Hey, I could go back there as the high school principal or the athletic director. And he said, why? And I told him, he said, that's going to wear out. And soon after then, you start seeing more and more black kids. They never had over probably one black kid play on a team here. So that team, I think they played harder because they knew some of the pressure I'd gone through. And that's probably one of my favorite teams. Of course, had 3 other teams that played in the Assembly Hall. You can't forget the team we had in '69-70, won 30 and lost 4, and got beat by 1 point in the semifinals of the state tournament. Could have won it all, but the state still doesn't seed those final 8 teams, and they had 3. When the season ended, Proviso East was rated 1, Galesburg 2, and we were rated 3, and we were all 3 in the upper bracket. And then the bottom bracket was Pure Spalding, where they weren't very good. And then Proviso beat us, and then in the finals, they beat Spalding by about 35 points. So that those teams stand out. But there's something about every team you coach that you like. Pretty difficult to pick out certain teams.
Well, then what was the highlight of your coaching career?
Oh, I don't know. I tell you, I think having the opportunity to coach at this school is a very nice, private school to coach in, good administrators, good teachers, and I had bad years, but they didn't try to run me out of town, and they remembered I was the same coach that was coaching when we had some talent, and I never had a kid in it going eligible, and I think the teachers understood that the coaches put the kids' academics first, and kid could get by with a lot, but he better not smart off to a teacher, because he had a big problem. And the teachers knew that, so they'd give kids extra work. So it's just a combination of a lot of things. We like this community, and you got to play second fiddle to the university, but that's not bad when you've had a bad team. And but there's a lot going on in this community, and both socially and entertainment-wise, and with the university, and we just really enjoyed our team, and had a great coaching staff. And most of the coaches that I coached with are in the Hall of Fame of their sports. And I was also the athletic director for 25 years, and so that was also a pleasure, and having the opportunity to work with these fine men.
Can you tell us your name?
Lindell Clemens.
And what year did you graduate?
1985.
How many years did you play basketball here?
I played 3 years on the varsity team, played freshman and sophomore, but I was a starter for 3 years on the varsity team.
Who was your varsity coach?
Lee Kabuti.
Can you tell us a little bit about Coach Kabuti?
Good guy, stern guy, prepared me for the future. We still talk now, actually. He's a great guy. He's straight in the line with a lot of folks.
Cool. Well, how good were some of those teams you played on?
Well, our senior year, record-wise, we were good. We were picked to, we beat a lot of top teams our senior year. We were picked to win the Big 12. We didn't achieve that. But we still had a great record in tournament times and stuff like that. It's just we got upset, in the first round. I don't think we realized how good we were.
Who are some of the team leaders?
Ray Boysaw, Lloyd Hodges, myself, Kevin Crossland, Tim McCoy, Terry Napper, who's a transfer from Rantoul, great come off the guy, come off the bench guy,
What position did you play?
Point.
Point guard. All right.
Lot thinner.
Well, when you look back then, what was a highlight or a memorable moment from your career? whether it be individually or as a team, whatever. What stands out?
I mean, there were a lot of individual, achievements, but just being able to play for coach and be prepared to, a lot of folks get on that mid-level line, and not prepared to step out into the world. And I think he prepared me, that father figure.
Great. And then coming back tonight, it's a 100-year tradition. What's it feel like to be part of it?
Man, Illinois undefeated, they dedicated the court to coach, so it's just a great, thing. I had to get off work, to come, so it's a great thing.
Great. That's all we need. Can you tell us your name?
Paula Jones Hall,
And what year did you graduate?
class of 81,
How many years did you play basketball here?
4 years.
And who were your basketball coaches?
Don Henson was when I was a freshman, and I played up on varsity a little bit. My sophomore coach we just called her Red, and she only stayed a year. And then John Hornaday was my junior and senior year.
Okay. Can you tell us about what it was like to play for Hornaday, Coach Hornaday?
It was good playing with him. He really took an interest in the girls' team and in coaching us. Really encouraged us. I had a lot of respect for him. So he was, I thought, a very good coach.
Well, how good were some of those teams you played on?
Well, we weren't very good. Unfortunately, we didn't have very many wins. We had a lot of fun, and we all enjoyed playing the sport. We had some tough competition, Mattoon and Lincoln, but so, 3 wins, my junior year wasn't very much fun, but even though we didn't win, it still, was fun playing, and just the friendships that we made, with the other girls. I just, hold on to that. It was memorable.
Can you name some of those other girls? Who else was on the team?
Leslie Griffith, Jenny Miller, Sarah Bieberman, Renee Cook. They were all in my class. We had a couple upper classmates that I think were very good players, Nancy Shaw and Teresa O'Reilly. Nancy Shaw, I know, is in the Hall of Fame, and she just was an outstanding athlete anyway, and so it was real fun to play with her. She could shoot, she could defend, she was just a real hustler. So.
What position did you play?
I was point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah.
And as you look back over your career, what was the highlight, and what was a memorable moment?
I'd probably say the first thing that comes to my mind was when Sarah Bieberman either got a steal or got the ball, and so we all took off to go fast break down to our basket, and she was probably about mid-quarter, about the free throw lane, and she dribbled to the opponent's basket, shot, was all by herself, made the basket, and was so happy. We were like, no, wrong basket. So we teased her a lot about that. So
that's a memorable moment.
Sticks out, yeah.
Well, now that you're back here tonight, what's it feel like to be part of a 100-year tradition?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, it's what an honor, to know that we've played for 100 years. And we just watched the U of I go through that, and I thought that was really neat that, wow, it's been around 100 years, and not realizing that Champaign Central was one who played U of I. And so, yeah, to be a part of this whole thing is really exciting for me, and to see a lot of the older players coming back, and, I mean, just from 100 years, it's just hard to imagine that it's that many years that, basketball's been around, and that, Central has had a team, so exciting.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Sandra Washington. I graduated in 1983. I was under the coach of Tony Harris. Our record was pretty good. We weren't really bad. My most memorable moment was when we were in the gym, the boys' gym, and we were on our way to an away game. And Mr. Harris I was kind of clumsy with my fingers, and I would miss the ball. And so he made me do like 10 layups in a row. And I'd get almost there, and he would make me, I'd miss one, and he would make me start all over. And I had to do that, I think I must have did it for about an hour before, we got ready to go. Until I finally got 10 in a row.
So who are some of the team leaders?
Well, we have Renee Cook. In her honor, I'd like to say we miss her. She passed, and she was one of our leaders. Christopher was another leader. We had a girl on our team named Pat Lane. She was a really good quick guard. She was really good. Kim Neither. I was the rebounder. I was our lead rebounder and jumper, so that was me. But we did good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, will you tell us your name?
Hi, Ted Beach, class of 1947.
And how many years did you play basketball here?
3 years here in the varsity.
And how good were the teams you played on?
Well, I think they're pretty good. Our 3-year record was 106-7, and we had 2 second-place finishes and 1 first-place finish in the state. So we played the state championship game 3 straight years.
Wow. And who were some other players on the team?
Well, my sophomore year, our leaders were Jesse Clemens, Dick Patterson, Dick Kelly. My junior year, Jim Cottrell, Earl Harrison, and my classmates were Fred Major and John McDermott. And then Rod Fletcher was a sophomore, came in, he was a year behind us. So we had a pretty good group.
And what position did you play?
I played forward.
Forward.
6'1" forward. A little different than it is today.
Who was your coach?
Harry Combs.
And tell us about Harry Combs as a coach.
This building's named for him. It's Jim. And of course, he was here for 9 years. He won 85% of his games here at Champaign High School. And then the year I graduated, he was selected as coach at the University of Illinois. So he had a great career over there for 20 years. He's in the Hall of Fame. So I think I was pretty fortunate to be able to play for him for 7 straight years. You don't usually play for the same coach for 7 straight years.
Right. What was the highlight of your career as you look back?
Oh, I think winning the state championship, obviously, because that was something that Harry's teams and even the teams back in the 20s and 30s at Champaign, they had some second-place finishes and always came close. And we finished second in 1945 when we finished the tournament with only 7 players. We had 3 guys get injured. At that time, you couldn't replace injured players in the tournament, so we played the championship game with 7 players and lost. So those of us that were coming back, we kind of dedicated ourselves and the team and the school to winning the tournament the next year, and we were fortunate enough to do that, 1946.
What does it feel like to be a part of the 100-year tradition?
Oh, it's great to come back. I'm not that far away since I live right here in Champaign. I've come to several games this year, and I think they've got a great team, and looks like they've got some good teams coming up in future years. But glad to be a part of it. That's part of the 100-year anniversary at the university, and now to come back here, well, it's a nice opportunity. Looking forward to it.
And what year did you graduate?
I graduated in the year 1982.
And how many years did you play?
I played my freshman throughout my senior year, 4 years, better 4 years.
Who was your basketball coach?
Coach Lee Kabuti was my coach.
Tell us a little bit about Lee Kabuti.
Well, Lee Kabuti he was a pretty strict guy. He made sure we stayed focused somehow. He got our attention somehow. He's a pretty good coach.
Okay.
I can say a lot of good things.
Well, how good were the teams when you played?
Teams are pretty good.